experience when it comes to applications in general and fintechs in specific. Thank you again, Sultan. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Kareem. Thank you for this introduction. So, I know my family maybe name is hard to pronounce sometimes. So my name is Sultan Shalakhti. And yes, as thank you, Kareem, as you mentioned. So I passed actually my experience was mainly in the user experience and digital products during the previous 13 years, working in product-based companies like Souk.com and Yahoo, then to move to, let's say, services companies, working with other, let's say, entities serving clients, like what I'm doing here. Before I came to Saudi Arabia, I was in Jordan based. Keep traveling in between UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia for sure. But my last, actually, let's say, place in Jordan was with a company called Next2, serving Fasah, Saudi Arabia. It's basically for anyone actually doing trading or brokerage here in Saudi Arabia for goods or logistics. He knows this, let's say, platform. So we were actually working on it under Tabadul, if you know Tabadul. It's actually, it's got acquired by Ilm these days. Then I moved to Saudi Arabia to work with Vision Bank, to start actually the designs, working on all of the journeys, building the banking services in general. And now, as Kareem said, I'm with AzamX. AzamX basically is a subsidiary company from Saudi Azam, which we focus mainly on user experience, customer experience, and innovation. And our main, maybe يعني my main team right now working at Al-Rajhi. So we're responsible to do the designs of Al-Rajhi. I hope you like Al-Rajhi experience in general, since we are actually building their mobile apps and web portals since 2 years until now. And even before that, before I joined AzamX, they used also to work with Al-Rajhi. So thank you, Fintech Saudi. يعني, Kareem, as he said, I know him a very long time. He was actually the investment manager when he invested in one of my startups back to Jordan at some point. So thank you, Kareem. You always welcome for any engagement, anything, and for sure Fintech Saudi as well, as they are one of the first entities that I get to know when I came to Saudi Arabia. I visited them in the offices, and I attended a lots of events around fintech with them to learn more about the industry, about the practices here in Saudi Arabia. طيب, I actually before maybe I jump to the topics, I was thinking how يعني before maybe we start يعني before يعني when I got actually invited to do this session, I was thinking how we can make it different. يعني always when you're talking about user experience, when you're talking about customer experience, or even innovation in general, there is a lots of people will jump and talk, even if they are not specialists in this area, which is fine, because experience is not only, let's say, a specialist team, let's say, work that they should do the user experience in general, and خلاص done. None of the rest of the team are responsible. User experiences, يعني it's actually a responsibility in all of the companies, entities, corporates, whatever you're building in the digital, let's say, world. You have to build a good user experience as the users' actually expectations getting high and high while they are actually learning about the technology and digital work. So when I was thinking about the agenda, I tried my best, and I need actually to hear your, inshallah, opinion that I try to avoid all of the, let's say, fundamental talks that you will find it anywhere. Yani that you can find it if you went through, for example, to ChatGPT or Human Chat and ask it about UX, for example, design. It will give you this information. I will try to give you something more specific that inshallah يعني in Arabic we say إن شاء الله الله ينفع يعني فينا وفيكم بالموضوع هذا و how we can actually give you real useful information. So the agenda will focus in the first about what is user experience in general as a design in fintech. And then I will talk about the shift in fintech for user, يعني from user expectations point of view and how they are actually talking about the hyper personalization and all of these things. Then I will move to UX design role in driving fintech engagement. Once you started building actually your startup about in fintech, or you already a big corporate like a bank here in Saudi Arabia, and you want to establish a new service for your customers, you need also to think how you will deliver this service and how you will make it really easy for your users so you can get the maximum value for your business and give the maximum value for your users and customers. Then I will talk about why users engagement actually matters in fintech, how you can actually work and survive with this matter, and how you can take it in consideration with you. Then I will give a couple of real life examples. I will not talk specifically about Al-Rajhi because you know we are working with them, but I got you a couple of examples from another inshallah banks and experiences here where inshallah you will learn about it. Then I will talk about key challenges that you will might actually face, and emerging trends in general in this industry as fintech, and when it comes to consider user experience as a first principle, or as let's say an adding value for your product. Then I will talk how to boost this engagement in fintech products specifically, because there is some actually when we're discussing industrial based actually trends or products, there is some tricks that I will tell you inshallah about in fintech in general. Then there is some essential resources for fintech UX designers. If we have, inshallah, designers today with us, they will take the benefit of it. Then I will show you an example on how to use AI for designing your user experience for your product. And I will show you, yani, together, we will see today how we can build a mobile application, for example, or even designing a landing page or a website in like giving an AI prompt to do it for us. I think this will be beneficial for anyone in the session today. And we will see how it will go, inshallah. Then I will leave you for Q&A session. So if you have any question, we will take it, inshallah, and we will tell you give you an answer. And for sure, anytime you can go to my, usually I'm only, by the way, active on LinkedIn. So if you have any question, anytime, anything, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will usually I reply all of the messages comes to me. Karim, I don't know if if I can do this or not, but usually especially in remote sessions, I would like to ask how many, for example, founder with us or how many designers with us. So if anyone, يعني,
We will prepare a poll while you start your session, Sultan, and we
perfect.
will post it. Founders versus designers versus students. Anything else you'd like us to add?
No, no, this is good. يعني, usually I want to hear maybe or to see who's my audience today. So maybe I can actually deliver a specific messages to them. Okay, anyway, this is good, Karim. We will take it inshallah later. طيب, let's start with what is user experience design in fintech. We need to agree that user experience design, as per our Don Norman, let's say godfather, maybe the only one right now. He's alive and still founding and putting user experience approaches and methodologies in the world. He's saying anything actually users will touch or engage with is actually related for user experience. When it comes to fintech specifically, as you can see here, I'm talking about creating products that are useful, easy, and enjoyable for our customers. Why I'm saying useful and easy and enjoyable in fintech, we're discussing money. We're discussing, let's say, if it's a banking, we're talking current accounts, we're talking card products, we're talking loans, we're talking a lots of things. When it comes to other fintech things like pay now, pay later, or even products like microfinancing or micro loaning or whatever actually there. So it's also it is a part of the user experience and how we can build it. So in fintech specifically, user experience design is focusing on, let's say, getting the expectations, the challenges that our users actually are facing in their usual life by doing anything. Then we're taking these challenges to transform it to let's say from a complex financial tasks into more simple and with of course giving the right messages, the trust messages about security, and make sure that they can navigate with confidence in our application, and they can let's say find the service useful, which actually will benefit them to take the maximum value and will benefit you as an entrepreneur or designer building for a product and doing this. Okay. A great user experience design as well. It's actually bridging in between the financial complexity and the human needs. By the way, from my experience, I don't see fintech in general is the most complex, let's say, industry in the market. Maybe there is some problems when we come and try to tackle it. It's really hard or a little bit complex. But in general, in fintech, when I worked with e-commerce, when I worked, for example, with logistics, when I worked with media, when I worked with maybe fintech coming after all of these, let's say, industries in terms of complexity and hardness. But for sure, our users are expecting some sophisticated, let's say, services to be accessible and to get into our products in a very easy way from onboarding until even خلاص يعني leaving the product in general. And I hope none of you actually will have customers leaving their products يعني for sure. طيب.
Sultan, I just want to make sure you see the poll results or no?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
good. I'm leaving it open for another minute and then I will end it. I'm giving a chance for everyone to respond, but over to you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. طيب, okay, guys. So now let's talk about the shift in fintech user expectations. By the way, as we are in Saudi Arabia, in one of the best countries in the world in fintech, I believe that even maybe some of the European countries, even USA, even any other actually countries, they are not really up to, let's say, the level of the infrastructure of Saudi Arabia. And alhamdulillah, we are part of this journey. We are living in this country and see this extraordinary, let's say, growth and innovation and disruption for this kind of industry. So the shift actually is moving from the first component maybe we should mention that how actually we shift from access to experience. Usually before, even when the banks started, so people only care about security, care about putting their, let's say, money in a safe place, that it is started. I don't want to, let's say, go through the full history journey in general, but you can imagine how it started. Then actually people tried to start finding their money anywhere. If they are traveling, they can pay anywhere, and their money in one place, safe and everything. Two, that they are starting actually expecting instant, seamless, and delightful interactions with all of the, let's say, touch points. Yani, if you need now to issue a loan or to ask for a loan, you expect you will not actually accept that the bank will let you sign 70 or 80 paper to take a loan. Now everything should be through digital channels. I open my mobile, I ask for this, then second day, third day, it depends on how they are actually managing their operations. I will find the money in my bank. So this is the expectations that shifts fintechs actually in from user expectations. And we can tell now, yani maybe for me as a father, I can say, يعني you can imagine how we used to do these things, and what is our expectations, and how is actually our child's and kids' expectations regarding these things. So the shift is really, let's say, crazy in frank word. يعني. طيب, the trust as a new currency. So for sure, if you're delivering a product in digital and you're talking with your let's say users and customers, you need to build the trust. You need to give them the ability to feel that they are secure, and you have the full transparency about their money, about these things, because it's very sensitive. You know about this, guys. Yani, I remember maybe this is one of the problems that we tackled in the digital banking in general. So when we started actually working on it, so everyone start asking, what is digital banking? Is it a cryptocurrency, or I should put my money there? But if I face a problem in your mobile application, where I can go, where I can find my money? If I faced a problem, I need someone to catch, to talk with, how we can solve this. So we moved all of these expectations to digital channels and digital life. So I don't know, Karim, if we can put another maybe poll here. I want to see how many actually are facing this, or having as a thought in their mind, how actually digital channels can really be a replacement for any physical channel in the fintech in the future. So we need to see if we can for sure have another poll to ask everyone today with us. By the way, thank you everyone for joining this session. Karim, am I actually very fast, or the cadence is good?
No, it's good. You're good. You're good. But what are the options on what? Oh, it's a yes or no question, right?
Yeah, let's make
Oh,
it yes or question. Yes, no question. Yeah.
okay. Go ahead. You continue. I got you.
Thank you. طيب, then the third actually component that I want to tell you about in this shift, as I noticed, the speed in none is not actually negotiable. Okay, so people now with the digital channels, with playing with TikTok, with Reels, with the other channels, they are expecting everything very fast. Okay, and this kind of, let's say, expectations set it with users from dealing with other actually platforms, making everyone feels, even fintech, even banks, even any if I want to do anything, if I need to buy a car, I want to issue the leasing in 1 minute, so this is actually what now what is actually now is the expectations from the user side. So you will find that if your product you're not actually thinking from operational point of view, and from user experience point of view, how you can be fast to get the loyalty of your customers, you will go immediately to another category, and your users will leave you either will actually يعني خلاص they will leave your product immediately. Okay. And as Saudi and global market shifts in to cashless payments, you can see these days, guys. يعني maybe يعني we don't remember when was the last time we have cash in our wallets or pockets to do any transaction. يعني for me at least, I don't remember the last time I used cash. يعني even maybe one of my time I was telling my family that I brought from Jordan some cash in case when I'm in Saudi Arabia in the first beginning to, let's say, to use this cash. And now is my like fourth year and I still have the same cash. So I usually يعني maybe just newly I started maybe from place to place to pay some cash. So يعني technically you don't need cash, you know. So this means something actually also related to the support and the customer excellence. So people are expecting 24/7 banking services available at any time. So if I went to, for example, to a retail shop and I made a cashless, let's say, a card transaction, and my card did not work, and I called the bank at 12 a.m., I expect someone to answer me and to tell me that, yes, we can solve your problem, or explain to me what is the problem, or to find a way to fix this. So, this is actually يعني what is the expectations now in Saudi Arabia and the global market as a shift in from the cashless payment. So I hope I explained, يعني, as I told you in the first beginning. So I am trying to keep the information here not very generic. I'm trying to give you something from my experience in this market and industry. Okay. So going to the next slide. Okay, let me get this here. Okay. So now, as the user experience is one of the let's say driving fintech engagements, and if you need your product to be successful, then for sure you need to take care about all of your all of actually the personas that you might face or you might actually serve as a product. So when we are talking about this, first thing maybe came to my mind always is accessibility. Accessibility is not only about disability. I know that people usually connecting accessibility with physical ability, okay? But in reality, accessibility, even, for example, this one of the actually most common challenges in banking in general, in digital banking, that how we will convince old people that they used to go to legacy banks, they used to think that I need to go to this branch who's beside my house or nearby my work or something to finish my transaction or to do my things, to digital let's say channels that I can open my mobile app now, take it from my pocket, and I can finish doing any transaction, even transfer, even checking my current amount, or even checking, let's say, the loan settlement status, or whatever we are doing. So accessibility is talking about old people, let's say mental mindset, and let's say expectations about the practice, about the services, and how regardless, let's say, of technical skills, or even whatever the devices that they are using or taking to take this service. So accessibility, we need to take care of it. Actually, one of the challenges, as I remember now, is the onboarding for old people. So if I have, for example, my grandfather, and I want to open for him a bank account, how I can validate that this is the real person, not let's say his son, or let's say one of his kids, that they are trying to open a bank account in their grandfather bank account. So especially here in Saudi Arabia for people are joining outside Saudi Arabia. يعني usually we're using Nafad, and Nafad having, for example, the face recognition, and you should take a picture for your face to get onboarded in any bank if you need to be digitally onboarded. So يعني there is a lots of problems that we thought about and how we can really solve it from accessibility point of view. Okay, maybe I talked a lot about accessibility, but Kareem, another question. Sorry for that. If we can ask, how many people actually with us today taking accessibility seriously with, let's say, with their products? I mean, we need to see. Also, make it yes or no question if you can, please.
Perfect. Keep going.
طيب, personalization. So one of the biggest topics, maybe also trends in fintech, where if you are coming from fintech, for sure you heard about hyper personalization, AI-driven personalized products, and all of these kind of terms and logics. So basically, when again, because of the let's say the mental model of people are using other products, not even in fintech. And imagine today, what is the most common apps you're using during your day? So, for example, if you want to ask for food, you will open any of the food and delivery applications to ask for any kind of food. For example, Bukhari here in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so you will find that يعني, your expectations that when I say Bukhari, I will see all of the restaurants that I really feel that I like its taste, or I ordered from before, or something like this. So maybe the main concept started the first time I heard about it when next what it's called, sorry. What was the product about the hyper personalization? Okay, I forget, to be honest, the example, but you can imagine that users actually start to يعني, to expect things that it's really like Netflix. Sorry, yeah, I remember that example now. So Netflix, maybe the first people, the first product that built their recommendation engine and for the movies based on your taste, based on the most common behavior through use while you are using actually Netflix. And it was really interesting at that time that we started to see that if I, for example, watched a lots of action movies, I will start seeing even the cover of the movies. For example, if it's a romantic movie, you will find the cover of the movie is action. So maybe there is actually maybe this is not the best use of personalization for sure. They understand that, then they try to fix it. But personalization is becoming more and more expected from users. So when I open any mobile application, I expect something that fits my taste or my behavior or even my future need, with the AI and with all of these new advanced technologies that we can use today. So if you are building now a fintech product, you need to start thinking how you can build something that will expect what is the user's needs, how they will change their mind, how they will try to think about your product in the future, and give them something really personalized based that fits their needs, which you will maximize the value of your income or make more revenue from these users. Okay, the third one for sure is simplicity. You need to understand, guys, that let's say the very nice interfaces and the very nice complicated journeys is not anymore accepted in any industry, not specifically fintech. but mainly in fintech because it's maybe sensitive because you're talking about people money, and people usually are very sensitive about their money, you know. And if you're serving in any industry, maybe you're allowed to make a mistake, but try to make a mistake with someone with his money, to remove a zero from his amount or something like this. You will start see how angry people will become. So simplicity is very important. You need to think about how fast your users can finish their needs by using your product and getting whatever they are looking for. Okay, so simplicity. So I don't think this is easy. Do we have in the polls, Kareem, the ability to ask people to write something like open text?
That's going to be a bit harder, Sultan.
Harder. خلاص, no need
Yes.
for it. Okay. Then write it in maybe in comments. If you see that there is more, let's say, things that driving fintech engagement in general from your experience and your point of view. I will review the comments later, inshallah. طيب. So the let's now actually, I hope I'm not making it boring for you guys, and you're enjoying hearing for this and find it useful as well for sure. So maybe we can make a poll, Kareem, about if they feel this is good or we need to change the tone of or the speed of.
I can tell you from the comments, Sultan, that you're doing an amazing job. People are loving it. So I would say keep going.
Happy to hear that. Thank you, guys. Okay, so now why user engagement matters in fintech. So the first thing I am thinking about, which is every actually startup now in the growth phase, and they finish the development phase and they come up with the product to market and start business as usual, they will go immediately to growth phase, correct? Now, once they are in a growth phase, the user experience is, yani, I don't want to pretend that this is because I'm specialized in this area that this is the only thing. For sure, it's not the only thing, but it's actually يعني a playing factor in your growth and your retention for your users and customers, because people, when they find that you're good in terms of user experience, you're giving them what they are expecting, your application is very fast as a performance, your journey is drawn in a way that matches their expectations, your business solving a real solid problem, when you're all of these things actually happening, so you will immediately find that there is higher engagement with your product, more trust about your product. People would love to expect more from you, which is you can offer more services, more, let's say, value propositions and things that will, let's say, increase your transactions volume from your customers. So this is the main, or let's say the first thing in growth in general, okay? The second thing is about user retention. So once the user, yani this is maybe a debate always happening in between marketing teams and user experience and product teams in general in any product, digital products. So the marketing is asking, okay, I can bring, for example, 1 million user, but how you will keep them in the product, how you will keep them in let's say using and engaged with our product. So once the marketing actually driving the sales, driving the customers to your mobile application or to your platform, immediately everything will rely on your user experience to keep your users. So the user retention responsibilities and KPIs, it could be actually assigned to your user experience, your customer experience team, okay? Then the competitive edge, يعني maybe I hear this a lots of times in many clients in, let's say, fintech, in government, in anywhere actually. So sometimes I find that the only competitive edge is user experience. يعني you can see when you're building, let's say, any business in the market, and that there is a lots of competitors in the same industry, you will find that the only way that you can be superior is to have the user experience as a key differentiator in your product. And you need to keep, يعني maybe this is an advice always, I keep saying it, because users expectations is actually changing while they are moving and living and by time. So you need to keep this continuous as a continuous practice in your business. So you need to keep track and discover the user needs, the user behaviors, the user expectations, and fix it in your product in a way that matches their expectations and work. Okay. Then, for sure, the trust building. I think this is a point that we will never disagree on. Trust is first thing it becomes. So once you have your product launched for the first time, you need to start building trust from day one. And there is a lots of techniques to do this, even from building your, let's say, there is so many actually techniques we are using to build the trust from, for let's say early adapters or new launched products, that you need to consider from user experience to make sure that users will keep to your with your let's say work. So, according to the industry research, fintech companies with top tier user engagement metrics see up to 3x higher customer lifetime value compared to industry averages. So, if you are monitoring the KPIs of your product growth in general, you need to keep the LTV as a KPI, and user experience for sure will build this for you and maintain it in the future. Actually, here I can give an example about maybe Rashi, but maybe it will be considered like an advertising for them. But this is actually something they deserve. So the mindset of them that they keep saying that we need to be 10 years advanced of the other competitors, other banks. So this keeps all of the team DNA to keep thinking about how we can build for future things, for let's say to be let's say to make the differentiators and the delighter, let's say delighting, let's say features as normal for us, and make a different level of differentiators and delighters. So this DNA, this mindset, this thinking style, I think is a real يعني big player in any successful work in the industry in fintech, and even for other than fintech. طيب. So let's give some real life examples and from, let's say, the engagement excellence here. So I want to make another poll, Kareem, about how many actually people they have a real governance that include user experience and customer experience best practices in their products. يعني as a يعني governed officially as part of their products today, to use the best practices, to use a good approach and methodology to build their products from user experience point of view. I don't know if
Okay.
it's yeah, okay. Perfect. So in Saudi Arabia, I keep remembering STC Pay, which is actually one of the three banks here in Saudi Arabia now. They moved STC, anyone in Saudi Arabia, he knows for sure that STC Pay moved to be STC Bank. And there is another two banks, which is Vision Bank, where I used to be before, and there is D360 today. So I'm not doing a marketing now. I mentioned the three of the banks, so you can check them in the market. So STC Pay is actually a very nice product because they started very early, and they started before I came to Saudi Arabia. So when I heard a lots of stories about them, about how they started, and they actually launched a not well built, let's say, product then they lost some of their customers, then customers came back to use STC Pay, and STC Pay become actually very big in the market, and everyone know about it. People even transfer, let's say, do all of the transfers over STC Pay, and it was a crazy story, to be honest. They passed very big hard times to reach to wherever they are today. So to be honest, I really respect this journey. So the gamification of peer-to-peer, that I can send, if you need, for example, 10 real, and to reduce the cash and as, let's say, to follow the cashless strategies. So I can just send it over SCCP. If we want to play paddle or tennis or something, we can pay over STCP. So it was really, let's say, a transformative area or period for maybe the entire Saudi Arabia at that time, and they still keep 40% higher user retention in this reward. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Okay. So SMB mobile app as well. Maybe Ahli Bank is one of the biggest banks. Maybe he's in transactional size, as per the numbers, is number one here in Saudi Arabia. And they are trying, yani I can see, I don't know what they are doing inside, just to declare this, make it clear. And I have even nobody, I don't know anyone actually working there, but in general, SMB, from my notice as a user here in the market, I can see that they simplified really the investment onboarding process, which is really something good. And they try to, let's say, find a way of managing the accessibility for the first time investors, which is also a key thing for them. I worked personally on other products and investment, like Rajhi Capital, for example. We saw how this is hard, and we can see what they are trying to build, and what we can do, inshallah, even better in the future. So yeah, this is one of the examples of how user experience played big role in onboarding for investment people, especially first time investors with SMB. Globally, guys, and Revolut maybe now taking the advantage over, yani from my notice, let's say, as I keep do benchmarking and see global, national, and local banks and fintech products, I can tell you that Revolut really doing something interesting about the instant currency exchange. With the yani how they actually visualized this experience was really different. Maybe I like, yani what we are doing in UAE is really amazing, but still Revolut actually doing something. Let's say they are in the leading tier as digital fintech services right now. For sure, our friends Apple Cards, they did amazing work in how they do the color codes for spending insights. So one of the trends actually in fintech was, before maybe 2 years, is the business advisor for you. So it's now we are doing it as AI driven business advisor, correct? So anyone working in banking, I think he's familiar with this, that we are giving you an insights about your let's say transactions, spending, and all of these, driven by AI, to, let's say, to show you what you can do better, for example, to save more or to go invest your money. If you have 100K, for example, you did not use for 5 years, so we can tell you maybe this is the time to invest it, and in the next 5 years it will be, for example, instead of 100K, it will be 120, for example. So instead of leaving it as just money in the bank that you don't use. And there is a lots of fintech companies only focusing on this. So if there is an amount of money that you don't use, you can use these fintechs to build. Fintech Saudi have a lot actually. I think Kareem, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have so many you're listing already, and you have all of the startups working in this industry, and this as you are in between, let's say, Sama and the private sector. So uh, I think there is a lots of products today trying to solve the problem of saving and investment for people to increase
Correct.
their. Yeah,
Yeah, there's quite a few, and saving and investment is super important, definitely.
yeah,
And I tell you, they make it as easy as possible, and the UI UX is usually exceptional.
yeah, 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 yeah. I noticed that. Yeah, yeah. Perfect. طيب, let's move to okay, actually write for me in the comment if you know also strong let's say يعني a real life example that we should look at it يعني as a story يعني if you notice a specific product about specific added value in his experience, please mention it in the comments, and I will look at it after the session to see your advices, guys. Usually, guys, I use this kind of sessions not only to tell you about things, I'm learning from you. So that's why I'm asking you to do this. Type, thank you. Let's go to the next slide, which is the challenges and emerging trends. So look, guys, I will start with something not written here in the slide. So maybe sometimes the main challenge in this in building actually fintech in general as a product is how they are operating building the product itself. So I noticed a lot of actually startups يعني maybe not we should not actually name them as startup يعني there is startups, yeah, they call themselves as a startups, but they started with 1.5 billion, for example. They are not really a startup, but in a way or another يعني the way you operate let's say your team, you're managing your technology team with your product team, with your design team, with your other functions, even compliance, even risk, even security, even whatever the functions you have in your company that you are trying to build today, is the way that you're managing them, letting them operate is really something that will be either a big challenge for you or make your life easier building the products. I noticed a lot of products here in Saudi Arabia. They have big amount of money to burn to get their product lives, and they don't really think about how they can optimize from the first day and build a focus on the most valuable things and build a real strong governance to make all of these teams work together in a good and complete synergy to reach out to their products. So please, guys, don't fail into these things. Always think how you will build your product and start with validating your business, then validating your, let's say, solutions. And by validating your solutions, you need to build your product, you need to design it, you need to prototype it, then you need to take as soon as you can insights from your customers. So for sure, as a new, let's say, or a key challenge for this, I will start with the trust for the first time users. Also, I keep hearing this from here and there, especially in fintech, that people are downloading the mobile application. We run a campaign and we got actually 2 million clicks and downloads. Then we ended up with having 100 or 1000 user really using the product that we built. So first time users, you need to give them whatever you need, whatever actually will feel them secure and safe, and they can actually take this. By the way, I can give an example maybe from e-commerce industry. When I was at souk.com, one of the biggest actually challenges was how we can build the trust with our customers and users that they are trying to buy from souk.com for the first time. And we come up with an idea that was the trust messages, where we can tell everyone in every transactions that يعني don't worry, you can return the product at any time with no loss for your money. You can, even if it's damaged, even if it's if you don't like it, you can just have a full refund for your money. So this kind of trust messages is really important for first time users for our products. The second challenge is meeting expectations for speed and security. Usually, يعني because I'm coming maybe from design background, so I keep saying that our technology friends making sometimes our life harder a little bit. We love them. I don't want them now to hate me, but let's say choosing the right technology, building it let's say by the best practices, and finding a way to make it really speed, it will impact the user experience big time, guys. That's why I started this session with saying that user experience is not only the user experience responsibility. The owner of the company have actually responsibility on, let's say, user experience. The development team owns some responsibilities. The product owners, all of the functions responsible about the user experience. Okay.
Sultan, I'm just gonna ask you to speed things up a bit. We are running out of time. I wanted to keep a couple of minutes for questions, and we do have a couple of announcements that I want our attendees to be aware of. So I'm gonna give you another 7 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Sure. طيب,
thank you.
navigating the privacy regulation, always one of the biggest challenges is the regulations coming to the fintech. So you need to be compliant, for example, with SAMA, with the GDPR, or any other guidelines that will actually your fintech actually coming under it. So you need to be maybe this is actually one of the challenges. I know for a fact that all of the let's say regulations and the regulators, let's say, trying to make it as easy as they can, but this is still one of the challenges. Emerging trends, for sure. Now when we talk about any product, we have to find how we can utilize AI driven insights, alerts, and voice enable financial actions and embedded financials in general. Okay. So actually, I will leave the slides at some point somewhere so you can come to it. Do you know something? If we have only 7 minutes, these you can go to it, guys. When I leave the slides, you will have some books that I recommend, courses, industry guidelines. But I want to show you this, to be honest, now, just quickly, because I feel you will like it. Let me show it to you. I will reshare my screen. Tell me, Bala, Kareem, if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Perfect. I want to show you Figma Make first. So how fast we can, especially for business owners that they have no idea about design, and designers can use it to take, let's say, to have a faster prototypes and faster, let's say, ideation. So for example, I want to build a mobile app wallet, for example, that fits Saudi market. So I want to show you actually how fast you can find something that you can maybe discover. I don't know if you are familiar with this also, Kareem, if because it's very new, by the way, these technologies of AI.
We keep using new ones every day. This is actually cool. I've never seen this. This is the first time, and
Yeah,
we are already seeing how it can
yeah, yeah.
actually code and come up with something really cool.
So technically, it will design and code the mobile app now for us, or the
That's,
onboarding, whatever
that's
we.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, crazy, yeah. So look, he actually trying here to write the, let's say, the requirements that it will be Saudi Riyal, modern Islamic design, aesthetic, and you can talk with it. Now I will not try to challenge the AI here, but I want to show you how fast you can actually put your idea into something that you can discuss over.
This is wonderful. I can't believe we're seeing this live as we speak.
Yeah, I will show it. Yeah. Look, he's doing debugging and he finds some things he needs.
So for everyone with us today, I know we're going a bit over time. We're going to show this demo, and there it is. Look at that. It's already out there. It's
Even for
designed.
the name, it's Ahmed Al-Mansouri. He's trying to choose an Arabic name, Total Balance SAR. Maybe we should correct for him, start using our symbol for SAR. Yani,
Correct.
look,
Correct.
it's coded. So you can see how it looks. You can download it. You can start using it. You can build over it. And the other actually platform, which is Stitch with Google, and it's the same thing, but it's only giving you design without code. So you can told, I need to build, for example, a wallet, for example, onboarding.
I tell you, we at Fintech Salary are going to start using these tools as of tomorrow to create some landing pages
Yeah.
for the team at Fintech Salary.
You need to come to me or pay me, Karim. I will take a percentage. If you
We are ready. We are ready. We are ready.
طيب. No, please enjoy. يعني try these tools. It will save you a lot of time. As a designer, it will actually save you a time of building from scratch. Okay. So could you please the screens you would like to include, for example, all يعني just quickly to show you how it looks.
So for everyone asking where these slides are going to be, they're going to be on the Telegram group, and all these tools and links to those tools will be available as well in the slides, as well as the resources that Sultan was talking about for you to learn more and dig more into the topic at hand.
Yeah, inshallah. Yeah. Yalla Stitch. By the way, Stitch by Google, Figma Make by Figma, obviously. But I want you to see how it looks, and you can copy paste it to Figma and modify it. So whatever the idea in your head today, you have no chance to say, well, I don't have a design team. Just go visualize it and then hire, let's say, a design team to scale, let's say, to make it more advanced, to think with you more. But the first point, it should not be something really hard for you to
Oh,
visualize.
Stitch took you through a journey. It's taking you through the onboarding journey, the whole onboarding journey.
Yeah. And you can copy it, as you can see here. You can go take it to Figma, download it. You can see here the code. يعني trying to see the code. يعني Stitch is not really good with the code right now, but Figma Make is really solid right now.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I took too much from your time, but I hope it was enjoying for you, not only informative.
Thank you, Sultan. Sultan. Good evening. Good evening. I'm waiting for people to come in. I see people raising their hands. I'm assuming that's them saying hi. Badriya, Muhammad, hello.
Yeah, sure. So CX, UX, UI, usually, and the CX, we are talking about customer experience, and we are talking across all of the touch points, even the physical touch points. So this is in a simple words, let's say. UX, we are talking about digital channels. So it's a user using digital, let's say, interface. And user interface basically is the visual. It's part of the user experience, and it's the visual, let's say, that the users are interacting with. So the user experience, including multiple things like accessibility, usability, there is so many things. UI is one of them, the user interface, where users are interacting with your product. Customer experience is across all of the touch points. And there is something we call the total experience, TX. And you will find also some other terms in the market like DX, digital experience. You will find like, yeah, there is a lots of names, but in the end of the day, this is what we mean by these things.
Great. Thank you, Sultan. Dina, can you share your screen, please?